Parents, let me ask every estranged parent watching me a hard question. If your child called you tonight, could you listen? And I don't mean listen while you're waiting for your turn to talk. I mean really listen. Could you hear them say something you completely disagree with and not immediately correct them? Could you hear their version of their childhood without saying, that's not what happened? Could you hear them talk about what hurt them without immediately reminding them about everything you sacrificed? Could you hear them say what you did wrong without immediately listing everything they've done to you? Because here's the hard part. Some of us have spent years praying for that phone to finally ring. You've imagined that conversation 1,000 times. You've rehearsed what you're going to say. You've got years of hurt, anger, unanswered questions, and things you need them to understand. So when that phone finally rings, you may be so desperate to finally be heard that you forget to listen. And you could miss the very opportunity you've been praying for. Now hear me. Listening does not mean agreeing. Listening doesn't mean they're right about everything. It doesn't mean you're accepting all the blame. And it damn sure doesn't mean your pain didn't matter. It simply means I care enough about this relationship to understand how you experienced me, even if I experienced it differently. Because two people can walk through the same house and walk away with two completely different memories of what happened inside of it. And if your first response is, you're wrong, they're probably going to stop talking right then and there. But what if instead you said, I didn't know you experienced it that way. Tell me more. That's hard, especially when you're sitting there thinking, after everything I did for you. But sometimes reconnection doesn't begin with an apology. Sometimes it begins with curiosity. And eventually, there needs to be room for your story. There needs to be accountability on both sides. There needs to be a conversation about what happened during the estrangement and what was done to you as well. But maybe the first conversation isn't the courtroom. Maybe nobody needs to win the case that night. Maybe that first phone call is simply about making it safe enough for there to be a second phone call. So I'm going to ask you again, if your child called you tonight, could you listen? Could you listen? Not surrender, not take all the blame, not erase your pain. Just listen. Just listen. Because sometimes you have to decide what's more important in that moment. Being understood or taking the first step toward understanding each other again. So I'm going to ask you guys before I close off. If they called you tonight, could you just listen? You guys make sure you like, follow, and share. My name is Aaron. I go by the name of Aaron Real Talk, and I appreciate y'all rocking with me.